So, you guys, we are live on Facebook Live. Like, I am so super excited to have you guys here. Like, this is my first time doing a live in forever. So, what a way to start off 2023 with my girls from GirlCode. So, I'm excited to be on live with you guys tonight. And so, we are going to we just go chop it up. We go talk and we got people coming in already. Like they moving fast. They moving fast.
Listen, I'm excited
So,
because they're
okay.
excited.
Right. Yeah, I'm excited because they're excited. So I'm making sure. Okay. So it's already the live is already public for you guys to be able to share to your page so you can have your friends view, chime in on what we're going to be talking about. So, everyone that is viewing us tonight, welcome, welcome, welcome to the very first Girl Code chat. Like, first, I mean, it's the first chat of the year. I got some amazing ladies on with me. Let me just like slide this in here. If y'all didn't get the Girl Code magazine, y'all kind of like missing out because y'all
Oh
could have
yeah.
already been like keyed in to these beautiful faces, right? So tonight we have Ty. She got Ty. How you say your name? Because you know I don't like messing up names. So pronounce your name.
Ta- Tashiana.
Ty Shiana, but I call her Ty. So let's be clear tonight. Y'all gonna be hearing me say Ty. So for sure. So we got Tashiana Jackson, and we got who down here? Who we got down here? Who?
Shardel.
Who
My
we
name
got?
is not hard to pronounce.
No, you know Chardell. You know. So you guys, welcome to the Girl Code Chat tonight. We
We can
have
say
Tashiana.
Shardel. Everybody like Tashiana.
And and we got Miss Chardell on here. As I've already said, these two beautiful ladies are or currently are featured in the let's be clear, the very first Girl Code magazine. And so they're coming on tonight to share you guys their journey, their business, and things that they have going on for 2023. Even though we're going to be sitting here, we're going to be chatting tonight. I just want to encourage you to be sure to purchase the Girl Code magazine because it will prepare you for more faces that you're going to see throughout the year. All year long, I'm going to be sitting and chatting with some of my girls from Girl Code. And so tonight we're going to dive in. We're going to talk about what they're doing. We're going to the sole purpose of this was to help other women in business. One thing that I know that God told me my assignment is to just not only reach back but to support and be a helper one to another. And so that's what I wanted to do by featuring these beautiful women, featuring what they're doing in their community, what they're doing personally for themselves. And let's just talk about like Black women in business, right? So we just go talk about what they're doing, and we go start off with Miss Ty. Ty, tell the people a little bit about yourself and tell them where you're located. Ty, can you hear me?
Okay. My name is Tashiana. I am 38 years old. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello?
We can. Can you hear us?
Okay, sorry y'all. I'm gonna grab my I can hear you. I'm gonna actually put my camera on I'm gonna turn my camera off so I can get my computer.
Okay. Okay. So
But
then,
can you hear me?
yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm gonna grab my computer. Sorry, Shardell. I'm sorry, y'all.
No,
No,
My
you're
no, no,
Wi-Fi.
no, no, no. Listen, we are
We
we're
go
doing
with the
our
flow.
technology. I'm letting technology get in the way. But while we're doing that, Chardell, you could tell us a little bit about yourself and let us know where you're located.
Okay. My name is Shardel. I am located currently in Whittier, California. I am 30 because we're saying ages, right? I'm 31. I'll be 32 in March. I am married. I have a bonus kid. I have a stepdaughter. Um, what else do you want on introductions? I'm a nice lady. I'm very sociable. I'm a coach. I am a licensed therapist. I'm like running down all the things, right? I'm a licensed therapist in California currently. I'm a relationship coach. So I launched that platform in, what was that, November of 2021. So we're about a year and a
Awesome.
half into that. Um, Yeah, that's me. I'm an African American woman in America. I feel like that's essential. um, but yeah, that's me.
You know what was so funny? What I'll say is, and just thinking about the overall purpose of this is girl code. And one of the things I thought about in every woman that was featured, we all had multiple titles. It's like sometimes when it's time to introduce yourself,
I don't know
it's
what
like,
to
where do I start? Like, because I have so many hats, I am doing so many things, right?
Yeah,
Which is a beautiful thing. And just being able to have people that come along and help us work through those things and
yeah, for
support
sure.
us in those things, right? And so that's why I was excited to do this. When and let's be clear, everybody that know me, just the spirit filled believer. So everything I do, I take to prayer, I take to God. And so when God brought this to me, like to do this chat, I'm like, okay, this is interesting that I get to sit and talk with everyone. Because if we be honest with Girl Code, we was exchanging information by way of
Oh yeah.
email. Some of
Hmm.
us showed up for the photo shoot, right? But everyone wasn't there. So, and to be able just to dive in and dig a little deeper, and not just personally for me to know more about you, but being able to again put you before other people that they learn who Shardel is, because Shardel is doing some amazing things. And above all, Girl Code was to promote women in business,
Yeah,
women that are trailblazing, women that I feel like some of us are unseen heroes. Like
yeah,
people
yeah.
don't know about us yet. You heard the
Yeah.
word yet, right?
Keyword. Uh-huh.
Yeah, the key word is yet.
Hmm.
So tonight we're going to share with them who we are, and more so, y'all go share with who y'all is, because Bernicia, I'm trying to take a back seat on a couple of things, right? And y'all, I got my girl code shirt on. I
Oh,
just
I
have
see it.
I have to do all things like in order, and just excited about being able to, me personally, being able to be a visionary over something so amazing. So you like, I got a bonus kid, I'm married, you're a relationship coach, and so while we're waiting for Ty to get her things together,
Yeah.
kind of dive in and tell us about what it is that you do within your business. Like, first of all, what is the name of your business?
So the business name is the Lighthouse Perspective. It's funny. I say this all the time. I feel like it's kind of like on repeat record that I say. But when I started this business, it wasn't my ground at all. It was something that God had put on me. And I was just telling my husband the other day, God gives me vision of the end, right? And so I'm the kind of person where I'm like, boom, that's the goal. And I'm running, just running towards this goal with no direction, with no, like, I don't need to check back in. I'm just 100% going to this goal. And then God kind of has to stop me, like, girl, you are not, that's not the way I needed you to go there. Like, I know what I showed you, but you still needed to check in with me on the steps to get there. Um, and so in this last year and a half, I think this business has transformed so much, because initially it was on an individual level where I was dealing with people on a one-on-one type of basis, and wanting to help progress them when it comes to relationships. And then I realized it's bigger than just an individual person for me. Especially in this day and age and this new generation coming up, I feel like the idea of relationship is fleeting. The idea of feelings and emotions and companionship and partnership is fleeting. Everybody is so saturated on the individual level, whether that's soft girl or independent girl
Girl, right?
or strong man, independent man. I don't, you know what I mean? Like everybody is in this element of individuality. Whereas if you were going to look back 10, 20 years ago, everybody was in a relationship, everybody was doing the long term thing. So something happened. And I feel like the good examples of relationships are not standing up and saying, like, hey, this is still a good thing. It's like a argument of how vulnerable and how open you want to be with somebody else. And so when God finally was like, do you see it? I pivoted a little bit, and I made my platform about relationship. Um, Relationship with yourself is number one key, because you can't have a relationship with somebody else if you don't have yourself together. But then also kind of understanding that the reason why the relationships in the past worked the way they did was because there was 3 different relationships going on. It was a relationship with the person, right? The person you're with, the relationship with yourself, and then that external relationship with God. If you believe in God or the universe or whatever you believe in, right? That external being is a part of your unit. For me, it's God too, right? Everything is God on this end. But so for me, cultivating all 3 of those, you as an individual are in all 3 of those sections. um,
Right.
and so I think that once I focused in on the relationship aspect of my business, it kind of transformed into what I really wanted to be, which is cultivating relationship. Independent is great. Everybody who's single and doing the single thing, I love that. But the goal should be partnership.
Right.
And so I feel like I've trailblazed my way through saying like, okay, it's time to do it. And so that's kind of where it started for me. And that's kind of where I landed pretty much at the end of last year of like, okay, this is where we're going. This is where we're headed. So that's the Lighthouse perspective.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Thank
right,
you.
and it is awesome because I hear it so much. And if you guys hear my background noise, look, that's the neighbors. But I hear it so much. And even, coming into me personally having a conversation with you about what you do. And I think we personally had a conversation about the show Black Love, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
what you're doing. And so the reason why I bring that up, because us as African American people, when you hear the word relationship, it's like for us, it's like
A
doom. We
lot of
have this
people
way
freeze
of doom.
up.
Yeah, it's like
Mm-hmm.
it's like no black people can't love, black people can't
Yeah.
have healthy relationships, right? So being able to be that trailblazer to step in and then show, I mean, and also demonstrate. And I'll let you when the time come, I'll let you share more about what you're going to do in your business. But me just saying that, I think it's super dope that you take this and run with it and show people that us color people, we can show up healthily in a
Mm-hmm.
relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
It can happen. It's not everything is not negative. And so I'm loving what you're doing. I'm actually excited to have cross paths with you, right? And so I know that even though we're friends, even for you and Ty, I've been a consumer. Like I'm like buying into what you're doing. Not just saying, oh, that's my friend, she doing such and such, but no, buying into and promoting and sharing like this
Yeah.
is something dope and you definitely need to be a part of it.
No, I
So
appreciate that.
yeah, so and so Miss Ty, tell us a little bit.
She's like, I'm ready now.
I'm so, listen, I'm so sorry, you guys, because the Wi-Fi in my house just it sucks. But I'm in the guest room, so that's why you see the bed in the back.
No, it's a cute
So
background.
this is where the Wi-Fi works. So I am 38 years old. I am a property manager. I don't have any children. I just well, I want to say I'm about a year into this relationship. Browniesha knows that I kissed a lot of frogs.
I can't stand her.
I kissed a
Yours
lot
has
of
been a good
frogs.
head now. I'm like,
Um, my boyfriend also is a relationship coach as well.
oh, cool.
He's a therapist. He's a marriage and family counselor.
Oh, cool. That's dope.
So he specializes like in addiction and stuff like that. Um, let's see what else. My life, I'm a little boring, y'all. I'm from California, but I live in Las Vegas. I remember I started Melanated Matters of the Heart. It's journals because, well, when I first moved to Las Vegas, I was married. I've told this story a million times, but it's still fresh to me. It's still fresh to me because when I moved here, I was married, and I was just going through a lot of turbulence and turmoil in my marriage. Needless to say, he had a child on me. So I didn't have anybody that I could trust to talk to at that time because I felt like they didn't understand me. They wouldn't get it, and a lot of people just don't really want to be a listening ear. They just want to they want to
Gauge.
lean in. They want to see what's going
Mhm.
on in your life. And a lot of them really just don't care if it's not about you, if it's not about them. I felt like although I had a lot of friends, I was at my worst at that time, but that's when I had a lot of friends and I didn't feel like I could lean on them about things, about certain things. So I bought a journal from Target, and Target had the cutest journals to me. Journals are very personal to me. like I would be in there and I'm like, I need to figure out what it is that I'm gonna do. I want to figure out what journal I want to write in. So I filled this journal up when my ex-husband tried to come back. I remember reading the journal and I just remember never ever wanting to feel that way again. So I wanted to do a service to my people, my girls, which are Black women, because a lot of us feel as though we can't be heard, or a lot of us feel like, that they're going to gossip about it, or we don't trust people. So I made a journal for us, by us, and it's an affirmation journal. So after you finish crying a little heart out, you can go and look at those affirmations and you just know it's going to be okay the next day. Or it may not even be the next day. Just you take your time to grieve whatever your situation is. And that's what I wanted to bring to Black women, because a lot of us were in that place that I was in, that we were depressed, we had anxiety, we didn't really want to talk to anybody about it because we were probably embarrassed or ashamed, or I felt like I didn't want to have another failed marriage at that time. I'm like, this is my second marriage. I don't want to fail in this. But I have Prince Charming now. So
Yes, look.
everything's good. And Brownisha knows. She
I
knows.
do. I do
She
know.
knows. She
So
knows the little problems that I was going through at the time, but she helped me along with it. She even did my website. You can check it out at melanatedmattersoftheheart.com.
yes.
But yeah. So
Yeah.
that's my little story.
And she said that's her little story, but it is a beautiful story. And again,
Thank you.
I just can't help but to say how us as Black women are coming together and supporting one another. And I'm big, and I know I hear it in many different atmospheres and platforms about us not being able like to coexist in the same space, like we're competing, we're this or that. And it's not something that I want to say. It's something that I want to live by. I want to create spaces where we can come and be a helper one to another. And that's why what we had already shared. And my main purpose for Girl Code, well, it was true enough. It was like, I'm not being featured. I didn't see me in nobody magazine. So I was like, I'm not about to wait for nobody to come feature
Right.
me. I'll just create it on my own, right? And in that, while I'm in the process of creating it, I end up getting featured in Shout Out LA. And I'm like, oh, cool. But I'm still going to do what I'm going to do. And my whole purpose was for it's over 20 something women that is featured in that magazine, but it was to support us and put us in a position that we are able to cross different platforms with other Black women in business, or should I say women of color, because it's not just Black women in there. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think we have one Hispanic individual, and she was the person that plugged me in with Shout Out LA. And I didn't even know, but I was already considering her, with not even knowing how she was supporting me on the back end, right? So it's just
Right.
supporting women, and we're doing this what in the privacy of our homes. We coming up. We haven't made it to where we have dreamed of, or what's even been spoken to happen, but we're still moving right along. And Shardel, I could be wrong, but even in your gears towards seeing relationships be healthy, it was all based off your experience.
Yeah.
With Ty, you like, I had a bad relationship. I was feeling these journals that I was getting for Target, but so I was like, wait, I want to be the one to help my people. So we're allowing life experiences to help us help somebody else.
Absolutely.
So I am just I will continuously say it. I'm excited to connect with women like both of you and all the other women that I'll talk to and chat with over, throughout the year, that was a part of Girl Code. It was like a big deal. And it was a big deal to me because it was something I was trying out. And even when I don't even think I didn't tell any of you guys what I was doing. I just sent the email.
Yeah,
And
you
y'all
did.
was excited to support. I was like, they probably like, what the heck is Bernicia doing now? Like,
I trust you. I trust you. I know you're
Right.
not gonna lead us into no
right.
crap.
But you guys came on and was on board, and you were supporting me. And I'm like, I was kind of, y'all don't even know, I was shaking in my boots. I was shaking in my boots, but I'm like, what I've learned is if God go give me something, I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna run with
Yeah.
it, and I've
Yeah.
ran with it, and you guys have come aboard to be a part of that. So I definitely want to make sure people know what you guys are doing. So I know for you, Chardell, you talked about being a relationship coach. You talked about your business. I'm not even sure. Did you tell them the name of your business?
I did. I
Okay.
started with it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I started
Okay.
with
Okay.
it.
So what is some things that you're going to be doing in 2023?
So one of the things I actually just launched was a couples coaching program.
Awesome.
Because so it's funny. Everybody's like, "Oh, so you're a therapist? Are you doing couples therapy?" And I'm like, "No, no, I'm not." Because I love being a therapist, but couples therapy is intense. Um, and you just got
It
to be
is.
prepared for that level of intensity with two people, not just one person. But with couples coaching, I feel like that's a step above it. Like, I think everybody needs both a therapist and a coach,
Yeah.
because the coach gets to be your cheerleader when it comes to things like goals, and tackling things that are not as deep as what you would need for therapy. Therapy requires much more of the nit grit of the relationship, whereas coaching could be much more fun, much more enthusiastic, much more goal driven. So it doesn't feel like such a burden. And so I realized, again, going back to that saturated space conversation we were having, like couples don't have coaches. um, because most people will say, well, if both of you guys need somebody, it must be therapy. And so I feel like from a therapy perspective, as a coach, I can be much more effective for a couple. And so I just launched, actually maybe 2 weeks ago, my couples coaching program that is actually like a 4 month program between all of the sessions and the calls that you get. But it gets to individualize and break down your relationship. I had an opportunity to um, be a facilitator or get into this program called Preparing Rich. And they have a pretty thorough assessment that both individuals would do. And it gives me a breakdown of things like conflict resolution, communication, partner habits, finances, leisure things. And it lets you know, even things like thoughts, your distortions about relationships, your distortions based on, let's say, if you were a middle child or if you were an only child, if you, let's say, were exposed to abuse or had different incomes when you were growing up. All of those things play a factor in what your relationship looks like and your ideals when it comes to relationships. But for a lot of us, when we get into relationships, we're not so forthcoming about a lot of these things because we don't know that these things are affecting us in the current state. And so that's one of the things that I love about this assessment is that it's so simple to take, but the results are so telling about where you guys both are, right, in the relationship, and then what forward. And so how I market it, right, is that it's an individualized program because everybody's questionnaire and assessment will be different. Clearly, no two people will answer the same ways, the same questions, because that's the whole thing. And so, based on the assessment that I get, I'm able to really customize those 4 months for you, and figure out where your strengths are, where your growth areas are. And then that goal aspect that we're talking about is okay, let's get to the point where those strength points that need to be worked on get stronger, right? When we're together, we figure out whether that's activities, whether that's worksheets, whether that's journaling. I'm a stickler for journaling. Feelings are my thing. Um, so when you were like, "Oh yeah, get that cry out," I tell people that all the time. Feel those feelings, get those cries out. But to also to be able to do it though with a therapist, because the hard part about coaching is that sometimes you do have to get a little deep. Sometimes there is a little bit of insight that you have to have, and coaches that are just coaches might not be able to support and hold you in that area. And so that's where my therapy hat kind of gets ticked on, because, of course, if there are things that are deeper, I have the ability to support that. And so a lot of what I offer, I call it hybrid. because it's not therapy, but you get therapy. There's no way that you don't get therapy working with me.
Right.
Because that's just
There's no
naturally
way.
who I am. I can't hide that. But in the program, I'm one of the kind of people who I like crunch time. So let's get it done. It doesn't have to be something that requires a 2-year thing or a 3-year. Like, no, let's hash it out. And I love when couples are motivated and even individuals are motivated enough to say, like, hey, I want to knock this out. And so for now, I'm only offering the couples, but I'm pretty sure by second quarter, I'm going to be opening up my individual coachings again. But like I said, everything I do is relationship based. So um,
When you say individual, is that who that's for?
the individuals, the people who want to be in relationships.
Oh, because I
The
was just,
people,
you know, I had saw the
the
post
people
and
that
I
are
was
one
like,
step below the
let me just like,
relationship.
let me go, let me share it for the couples, but let me slide on by because that
No,
ain't for
no.
me.
I just, it's funny. When I first started, I did last February, I did a 21-day couples challenge
That's
on
awesome.
Instagram. It was awesome. The turnout was awesome. And then I did nothing else with couples. I did everything else I did was marketing toward individuals and singles. And so I'm like, let me reverse this and go back to my relationships.
I'm on
And
my
then I'll kind of
phone.
bring back in the individuals who were like, well, I want that. Because just like you said, Ty, I was in a relationship prior to this one, also divorced, right? And so this guy is the perfect guy. He is literally God given. And I
He
feel
watch,
like people don't see
like he
that
watching.
middle area. People don't people don't see it. The effort that the effort that it takes to get to that person is where a lot of people are. Like, how do I do that? How did you go
Oh,
from
man.
this part to this part? And yes, it takes work. And a lot, like you said, a lot of people you can't really depend on. They haven't been in the same predicaments. They don't understand your mindset or why you did the things that you did. And so you come out of that like, well, now what?
Oh man.
And I feel like being me, I can support that. If I know that your motivation is, I just need to get out of this rut so I can understand this rut and I can get to that healthy relationship
Yes.
where I can come to you with my man, like, hey, couples time. Like, that's where I want to be. That's where I'm at. And so I built the platform around the end goal being partnership. Because not everybody wants marriage. I'm gonna say marriage because God wants marriage. And so that's the direction I say we should go. But if partnership is the direction you want to go in, at least you can get some clarity, some transparency, some understanding. You know the direction you're going in. It doesn't have to be a game, because a lot of the dating world is a game. And
Oh,
so if you're willing to just figure it out, I'm here to help you.
yes.
That's me.
And that's going back to what she said. The dating world, excuse me, has the dating pool does definitely have pee in it.
I knew
So
she was gonna say it. I knew
it
it.
has it has pee in
It's
it. You hear
toxic.
me? It is
It's toxic out
disgusting.
there right now.
But that also goes back to what you were saying earlier when you say that something we missed the mark somewhere because 10 years ago everybody was in a relationship,
Mm-hmm.
everybody was happy, everybody was able to communicate. I
Mm-hmm.
think we got to a place to where a lot of the women have become so independent,
Right.
and it seems like it's starting to seem like we're switching the roles with the men. So
Mm-hmm.
now we're becoming the breadwinners. Now
Mm-hmm.
we're becoming the women. We're becoming the men. Unfortunately, like
Mm-hmm.
we've placed ourselves into these roles now at
Mm-hmm.
this point. So I noticed that a lot of the men are they want to be pacified. They want to be the girls. They want
Mm-hmm.
to be the girls.
They want to be
And
kept for sure.
yes. So when I got out of a relationship, I liked to be by myself. I didn't like it. Let me say that. At first I didn't like it. But when I started to know me and I started to take accountability and
Mm-hmm.
started seeing where I went wrong or what I could have done better or what I
Mm-hmm.
could have done, in place of what I did do, it started to make me look at myself like, okay, well, this isn't what I want. This is what I want. This isn't what I
Yeah.
want. This is what I want.
Refining
And
it
I
all.
absolutely. And I started doing pros and cons in my journal. And then I started praying, and then I would ask God. I would tell God what I wanted in a man.
Facts. That's how I
You
know what
gotta
I
you gotta
get.
tell him. You gotta
Mm-hmm.
tell him you gotta speak that thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I did. And when I started speaking it, and when I started saying that this is what I'm going to accept, and I will not accept anything less, because everything that settles is at the bottom. I don't
Uh-huh.
want it. So I literally, I
I need to write
literally
that one
voted.
down. Everything that settles is at the bottom. That
That's
is a word.
it's at the bottom. So and when you get with your partner, you're telling your partner, you're telling the world that this is the best that I can do.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
my father told me that.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh.
He said you're telling everyone that this is the best that you can do. So when I saw that this wasn't the best that I could do, I spent a lot of nights alone, but I
Mm-hmm.
was content. I was
Mm-hmm.
complacent. But it put me in a space to where I was okay with being alone, to where
Yeah.
when someone would come in, it was like,
If they didn't benefit, yeah, it was
right,
easy.
right,
Mm-hmm.
right, right. You're not adding, you're subtracting. I don't want it.
Mm-hmm.
So, so I got to that space, and I wrote down August of 2021 what I wanted in a man. And I promise you not, I still have the date in my journal and what I wanted. I met my partner in May of 2022, and he is everything and more that I wrote down in that journal. All
I
you got
just
to do,
want to
ask and you
piggyback.
shall receive.
I just
Ask.
want to
With the
piggyback off
journal.
of this because literally almost the same. It wasn't a journal necessarily, it was a book that I was using, a prayer book. And I'm pretty sure I told you this, Browniesha, but this was the first time I did the prayer book and I journaled. Because usually I didn't journal when I did it, I just prayed. Same thing like you said, I told God. I got to the point where I was like, God, I'm telling you now. It's not, I think I won, I'm praying for. It's no, I need you to give this to
This
me.
is what I'm doing. This is what I want.
This is what you need to give to me. And in the book, every day it made you refine that prayer a little bit more. And I kept saying, okay. And I ended up giving God a timeline. Because at first I said next year. This was around October, November of 18. I'm like, okay, next year, 19, I need you to bring me this person, wherever, however you want to do it, 19. Then I said, okay, beginning of the year, let's refine it. Beginning of the year could be from January to March, right? Okay. Next time I said, no, I'm saying beginning. I mean January. Okay. I keep refining it. Then one day I was
Ooh.
like, you know what, God? Beginning of the year, like 1 to 15. Like I'm gonna, and when I tell you I met this man on January 1st, like, and it was everything that I asked for, every confirmation that I needed. And I laughed at it, right? Because I'm like, I know I told him the beginning of, but did he really have to bring him on the first of the year? Yes. Because
Yeah.
that was literally what I asked him to do. And then everything else just fell from that. And I'm like, okay, got it. So I feel like even hearing you say that, there's so much intention. Like you have to be at a place where you're like, okay, God, like now I'm waiting for you. It's not what I'm doing, it's not what anybody else is doing. Like now you got to prove it to me because you're telling me that I deserve this, especially coming out of a divorce or out of a situation where you have to question, like, did I do this right? And did I fall from grace? Does he still love me? Do I still deserve all these things? Do I deserve this great man that I think he wants for me? Right? Because you hear all these things about divorce in the Bible and what that means.
Right.
And so you have to question, like, okay, did I do my part? Is this out of line for what I believe in? And then to be blessed, and I'm sure you feel this way too, Ty, like to be blessed with somebody like that after that is like,
Absolutely.
okay, you heard me. Like you heard me, you were with me, you proved it. And it's beautiful.
The growth is beautiful.
Yeah.
I remember once I got with him and I asked God, I said, Lord, everything that I asked you for and that I prayed for, please don't let me, fumble it. Don't
Yeah.
let me,
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
because those are things that we have to ask for too. And
Yeah.
I also pray that I said, Lord, whatever it is that you want me to be to this man, allow me to be that, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And I always pray too. Remove them if they ain't for me, and that goes for
Right.
any aspect of life. A job, I don't let friends drag me. I don't let men drag
Right.
me. I don't let
Right.
jobs drag me.
Right.
I just don't do it.
Yeah.
So when I knew Ronnie, and you know me, I ain't no man. moving in with no man.
The girl is crazy, okay? The girl is what I really wanted to say here was a lot of what I hear you guys saying. You're talking about healing. I mean, because
Yeah,
you go from one thing to the next,
yeah, yeah.
and it's a beautiful thing to. If we're going to talk about business, is you showing up as a whole person? Because just imagine you being toe up and toxic and broken and mad, and you trying to show up for somebody else or be the business owner of something, then who you are or what you got going would then spew on the people that is among you. And one of
Yeah.
the things I did even say as a girl code hack is whoever your tribe is speaks to where you're going. Like
Mhm.
Yes.
whoever you
Mhm.
have
Mhm.
around you, it speaks to where you're going. So you got to analyze who's among you, who's in your circle, who do you consider as a friend, because it all plays a part and where you're going. And I know I consider you both of you guys as my friends, and I've
Same.
had personal conversations. How I end up at Ty, with Ty that time when she just met me because I was going through a breakup and I got on the plane and went to Vegas. Like I got to get away.
She's like, I'm out.
Yeah. So she saw me like fresh in my mess, right? But sitting there just talking to me. I mean, Shardel, we've had the conversations too. And I say that even both of those things still geared towards her with the journal. She like my breakup caused me to come up with this journal. You're saying I went through a bad relationship and I told God, okay, you kept adjusting the time frame. Like, okay,
No, I
I'm
did.
it.
I
Okay,
had to
yeah, yeah.
refine my prayer because I'm like, Lord,
Right.
I'm not waiting until December. Like I
But
say
he did it
next year,
though.
but I don't want to wait until next year December because that.
He he did it, and y'all look. I was looking in the magazine while I'm talking to y'all, and let's just be clear about Shardel. Shardel, her husband is like the face of her brand too. Like she like
I
let
love
me
that.
let me just show y'all,
He fine, so
Look, we might be, look, me and my man might be coming to Shardel because he's a
listen,
therapist.
I'm
But
available.
I have to tell him, I'm like, I know you're a therapist, but you're not there. I am not your patient. So we need to go, we need to go see somebody else. And the growing pains are, it's a lot, especially now that we live together. But
Yeah.
everything has progressed so vastly. I mean, like, literally, we haven't even been together a year and now we just got a house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he gonna marry me. You know I don't play
hey,
that. But
hey,
yeah, it takes a lot. The growing pains are not no joke. They're no joke. But literally when you start getting rid of toxicity, and you start getting rid of people who just don't have your best intent at heart. And I
Mhm.
always say sometimes we are the bad apples and sometimes we get the bad apples. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? So
Mhm.
it's just about weeding them out. And I always say this, I had the most friends when I was at my worst. I have so much peace now. Though my journals have brought me peace, but the affirmations that I have in there are from women who have gone through things like myself.
Mhm.
I'm also doing a line of journals. I'm gonna do Melanated Matters of the Grieving Heart, for
Mhm.
those who have lost loved ones, or I'm gonna also do Melanated Matters of the Growing Heart for teenagers. I have so much in store that I'm just gonna start a line of
I
it.
love
I mean, listen, I love growth. I love evolving. I love shattering glass ceilings. So just come through with all the stuff. Lanice was talking about me. She gonna say, I always say, I'm gonna take a break, and boom, God
I
gives
love
me
her so
something.
much. I love me
And
some
that's just
Denise. I love her.
that
Dante great.
that definitely is how it be for me. Like, there are so many things, but I will say for 2023, I did take like baby, I'm in a slow lane. I'm in a slow lane, and I'm just, I've created enough, I've done enough, and so I'm just continuously pushing and moving with what has already been done. But I still have to continue to highlight, and I can't stress it enough, of us being here again, women of color, and we're having these conversations. Like, I went through the heartbreak, I've had these bad relationships, but I bounce back, and we're going through it in a healthy way, because there's a toxic way to go through it
Oh
too.
yeah.
Absolutely.
There's
Oh
a
yeah.
For
toxic
sure.
way to go through it too. So it's like, even Chardell, with your, you talking about, with creating, you being able to give towards a relationship, you could talk about the bad part and you could talk about what you're now experiencing as the good part of life. But you could always like, I can say now, not now, not then, not now that bad relationships used to be like, girl, I'm black hearted. It was something I used to use in my ignorance. But we're saying, I hear you guys saying here that we've went through these bad experiences, and honestly, and we're profiting off of a bad experience. And I don't want to I ain't got to make no disclaimer for y'all. The Bible talks about that all things working together for the good, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know that our going through is not in vain. So what we are going through, what we have suffered through, what we've experienced, it was only for us to experience that to then go back and help somebody else. And that's what you guys are doing. That's what we all are doing, are using our life experiences. And we've now created a business, we've now created ministry, now created organizations to go back and help other people. You're helping people in relationships. Atai is she's helping people that you talk about grieving hearts, you talk about broken relationships, and we know we have to grieve bad relationships too, right? But just
Absolutely.
being able to reach back and help somebody else, it's a beautiful thing. And I just thank God that I listened to what he said as it pertains to the people that I chose for this Girl Code. It was like it was purpose in it, because I don't go around here just picking and hanging out with people just for the sake of saying, oh no, I don't personally do it. Don't got nothing against people, but it has to be purpose in what I do. We ain't just hanging out to hang out. It's like
I was
I'm
definitely honored.
yeah.
Yeah.
For
I
sure.
mean, I saw Ty grow. Like I still consider her as crazy, but she's grown. She's grown, and even when she came to do the website for her to do the website for her journal or whatever. It was just hearing her heart, hearing how she was really all in to help other people. Like, man, I know what it was like there, and reaching back, like, I want to be that for other people. So those things are so important to me. And why not support one of your sisters that's out here doing stuff? I'll just plug it in. There are people that are doing things that they heart not really in it, and those people I don't support. I mean, that's your business, but that's not something that I want to be connected to. So
Right.
I I want to continuously push what you guys are doing, and make sure y'all put your website in the link where people can find more information about you. I know you said, Shardel, you're just doing the relationship thing coming up. Is there anything else that you anticipate to do for the rest of the year? I know you even have speaking engagements.
I
I mean,
do.
yeah, you do.
I
You
do.
do. You do.
I'm gonna make sure that I am present for something.
I'm
I'm for
so
sure.
bad at marketing. Which is why I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for this. I do. I have some speaking. This year I told myself that I needed to branch out a little bit more. And branching out for me is networking and speaking. And so I have a couple of speaking engagements coming up. I want to start hosting in-person events. I actually have an in-person couples event coming up at the end of February, February 24th. I have a couples vision board paint night happening in Cyprus. So I want to be able to do at least once a quarter some kind of in-person couples event. Ultimately, I want to do retreats. So that was actually the vision that God had given me, was that I was going to do couples retreat. And I was like, yes, God, let's do it. And I didn't have the couples, like I didn't have nothing, but I was like, yes, God, I'm making this couples retreat. So that is still ultimately my goal.
You got one here.
That is ultimately my goal. I set for 23, but I'm shooting for maybe 24. And all be just being realistic. But that is my goal, to start introducing couples retreats. But for now, just getting my name out there, my face out there, getting people to start realizing the importance of relationships. And then just kind of seeing what comes from that. I think just having like-minded couples together will automatically bring other things to the forefront. So that's my goal, just to
Yeah, so
network.
everybody make sure you guys follow her. She has a beautiful love story that I'm gonna let her tell y'all when y'all get to that point. So I mean, I love Black Love. I love seeing it. I mean, even though they was on here just talking about they, they husbands and they booze and little me over here in the corner. But again, what I'll say is even for that, for me, it's still showing me where God is prepared, where He's getting ready to take me. So I'll be in the
Yeah.
club in a minute, okay? I'll be in the club,
It soon come, soon
okay.
Right.
come.
Yeah.
It
So
soon
and I'm
come.
gonna plug this here. I keep telling everybody when the Lord does bless me with my man, I'm going on vacation for like 6 months. So y'all not gonna see me for like 6 months. I'm gonna have to
This is
holler all over
recorded, so
that.
don't you
You know
forget
what?
that you said
We
this.
I'm
seeking
gonna be
it.
gone for 6 months.
Yep, it's coming. It's coming.
I
I
hope y'all
promise y'all.
heard that in the comments.
I'm gonna say
Listen,
this. I went and got lipo, okay? Because BROWNIESHA, I've been talking about. I was like, I'm gonna go get me some surgery, and she probably didn't believe me. I went and got some lipo, and I'm
for
like,
nothing.
I'm gonna be outside. I'm outside,
Oh,
and
I'm
and
going
this
in.
man literally came. I didn't go. I wasn't outside.
Oh no,
I
he
wasn't
took your whole
outside.
outside.
He took my whole house.
It's worth it. It's worth it. I believe the way she's smiling, like, listen, I just saw her
No, yeah.
and ghost people, and I'm like, you not. It'll be no. So I watch her now, though, and it's a beautiful thing to see the growth because I'm telling you, her phone would be on D&D all of the time, and she would literally be hiding from these people. And so to see her now, I'm for real. It's like it's a beautiful thing, and I
Thank
know
you.
even how God, deals with me as it pertains to people. It's watching people grow. It's pushing people out to grow.
Yeah,
Because we all go through something. I mean, we go through something and yet we're still trying to win. And that's important
absolutely.
to talk about too, because that's not even something like people will see your wins, but they don't see your going through. They'll
Yeah.
Come on.
see when you out there and your name in the spotlight or you got this amazing thing going on, but it's like you don't even know what I had to go through to get through that. And you might have a slim of an idea. By the way, we could share a little bit on Facebook, but people really don't know what we go through while we out here trying to win, or even before we got through the win, how you was crying in the car, and I was one that was crying in the car, right? So it's just again, I can't stress it enough of us coming here, us sharing, us being able, and me even, I hear Ty like, Chardell, I'm connecting with you. That's like
Well, I'm
that's
already buying a journal. I
for
already
me.
figured out in my mind that I was buying a journal. I just didn't say it, but
Because listen,
That's
Chardell,
what this is about. That is what this is
yes,
about. Is
connections,
yeah.
networking. And I got to tell my man, like, look, and I always have to tell him, like, I know when we go to this couples therapy, you are a therapist, but this time it's your
you got to
turn.
be the person. You got.
Consent.
It's
Yes,
hard. It's hard
yes.
being a therapist and asking somebody else to do what we do, because we're always trying to be a step ahead. It's
He
hard. Just give
is.
him some
He,
grace. Because it is hard to be therapied as a therapist. It is.
yeah.
So yeah, I
But it's a
understand.
growing pain. He needs it.
It is.
He needs it. Exactly,
It
Lenise. He in the hot seat.
I
Yeah, he ain't like,
mean,
I'm a therapist. No, 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 no. You are a
Not
patient today.
today.
You're a patient right now.
yeah. So I don't know. Was there anything else that you guys? Because I don't want to leave out nothing. Y'all make sure y'all put all the plugs in there. Make sure you put the websites, the links in the comments for people to follow you. And what I did see was because I did share it. I shared the post and tagged y'all. I believe that your people are able to watch because Chardell, I did see your husband watching. So
Yeah.
your friends being able to come in here. So just make sure you guys plug in all your information about what you're doing. And I just continue to applaud you in doing what you're doing in your communities. I'll even say, and I always, when I'm speaking, if God didn't say it, I ain't gonna say it, right? But I see not only just what you're doing in your communities, but it's somebody in your family watching you. They watching you win and you're inspiring them. So keep doing what you're doing. Nothing that you went through was in vain. Continually do as God has told you to do it, as He has instructed you to do it. And I more so think a conversation that I had with you, Chardell, about what you're getting ready to do too, like that God is just pushing you out there to help these people. It's people in the comments like drop the information. Like I need you to drop it right now, right? And so there are some people that
Yeah.
they need you. So go out there, do the work. Nobody can come in my vicinity and stay the same. No way. Like that is absolutely not going to happen.
That's
That's
right.
just
Fact.
that's not how it rolls with Brownisha. If you coming around me, baby, we
Something's
finna
gonna
win.
evolve.
You know,
Yeah.
it's not I'm
Yeah,
gonna win, but I'm gonna find a way,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna find a way to put you on. No one could ever say that they came in contact with me and I didn't find a way to plug them into something, some way, somehow.
That's fact.
But
man,
that's
yes,
how the Lord that's how he wants to use me, and I shall and will um will be used. And so I'm just thankful enough that us as black women can come together and we can continuously grow, and one day we'll reflect on this day and look back and be like, oh, we had this conversation, but we're getting ready to expand and go out there and reach other women that are battling in silence too in relationships, and
Mhm.
they need your coaching, they need the journal, because you are what it say, it's created for black people by black people, and we
Mhm.
need to support our people. We need to
absolutely.
support our people.
Thank you for this platform. Thank you for the opportunity. I
No, thank
appreciate it.
you.
I appreciate you so much, Shardel. I'm gonna be connecting
No,
with
I'm
you.
so happy to meet you. I'm so happy to have been on this because our stories are so similar. Our stories are so similar. But yeah, it's so nice to
And
have been.
I didn't even know who was going to sign up for what first. I did, and for some reason I had this push for Ty, so I was like, "Look, I'm about to send this out, and you better pay attention and you better get in there." But I never thought about the stories being similar, but again, God is the
Oh
plug.
yeah.
Him plugging you guys with one another,
We gotta do a
and
luncheon or something.
Yes, please. Let's
Yeah.
do
y'all stay out
that.
my business. Stay out my business. Listen, y'all already know I don't never do nothing small. I'm gonna always come back with something big.
Yes.
Don't even worry. Girl Code has really been a blessing for me. I think the day when I did the actual photo shoot, I know definitely I went and cried in the car. I definitely went and cried in the car because it was the love, it was the support. And I know Ty, you wasn't there, but I was sitting there being giddy. And I think
It
somebody
was
made a
good
pause
energy.
for everybody to pray for me and extend their hand and speak over my life. And I was just like in tears because everybody that I did cross, that was a part of this, they've poured into me some shape, form, or fashion. And I sometimes feel like I'll never be able to give back people what they gave to me. And not that they're looking for it, but I want to celebrate people and I want to pour into you as you guys have poured and been a listening ear, bought a book, or whatever you've done to support Brownisha and what she's doing. I want to be that same person and give back. And that day, all in women surrounding me, coming from different places, different walks of life, knowing me in different stages of my life, and me growing to this point, it's like man, it was overwhelming. It was overwhelming, and so this is
You
just
deserve
the
that.
first.
You deserve that overwhelm.
I appreciate you so much.
You're doing a lot for us, so you
You
deserve
are.
that level of
You are.
overwhelm.
Thank you.
Listen, Linda. I am the one thing my mom raised me: when one eat, we all eat. So I'm just trailblazing for everybody to come up behind me. And I think somebody said, I think it was Lanice, like for real, people do they people be intimidated, and I be so confused, like. What you mean, girl? Like I'm
Okay,
not
that's
even
what
that kind of girl.
I
Get me in the back. You ain't even gotta tell nobody my name or where I come from or who I am. You can put me in the back, honey, because Bronisha's not, I'm not here. I'm only here to uplift and push women. And so that's what I want to do, continuously do. So I'm glad that you guys were a part of the Girl Code magazine. And for y'all that are watching that have not purchased the magazine, I will put the link in there. Get it. It is over 20 women. It's different businesses. Like I mean, people, and we're not just locally, it is women from all over the world that is a part of this book. Not just these ladies here, we have authors. I mean, we got designers, we got all kind of stuff. It's all kind of stuff wrapped, and we're all women of color, and we are
Mhm.
doing our ish. Like, I mean, there's so many different women and some people I saw start off and like they trailblazing. So it's all we got ghostwriters in there. So y'all need to cop the magazine, support us, and see. I mean, because There will be another girl code. Don't we don't that was the first one, but there will be another one. So support. I'll be sure to put the link in there. Did you ladies have anything else you wanted to share? Because I want to make sure we get all the information out to the people um, about what we're doing or what you're doing.
No,
I don't think so.
no, I think we covered all
Okay,
bases.
I don't think so. So, Ty, do you have a estimated time when your journals will be out? You guys make sure to follow her so you can be updated. I know she did put her website. Shardell put her Instagram. You guys make sure you go follow them now. Even share what they're doing because I can't even say that you might not personally need because you need what both of them the ladies are doing. But share because I mean we talking about the journal. Um, it's for melanated women. So what a way. We in Black History Month. Let's just, let's say that. Let's
Right.
support our sisters and what they're doing and make sure you follow them and make sure you promote what they're doing. And I'll say even for all y'all that's listening to me, all y'all that's on here tonight, find another woman that you see commenting on here and follow her and support what she's doing. Like support whatever she's doing. And I do see it's a couple of our other girl code ladies are on here tonight. So we got Ebony, I see it. We got
Hey,
Kiana.
Ebony.
I saw Jerry on here. Hopefully I'm not missing anyone, but we have other ladies that came out to support and listen tonight that are also featured in the magazine. Y'all get it. I mean, it's so many different services that it's like I honestly think what's that little tab thing you used to have everybody's phone number on and you'll just roll it.
Rolodex.
Rolodex.
That's like a Rolodex. Girl
We
code is
still
a
know what that
Rolodex.
is.
Yeah.
I have a funny story. I was doing
Right.
therapy with a kid. I like giving metaphors. Right now I do therapy with kids as my 9 to 5. So I was giving an example and I was like, oh yeah, it's kind of like a Rolodex. And they're like, oh what?
Hmm.
And I'm like, have you ever seen it? And I'm trying to describe it. I'm like, have you seen it? It's like a tube, and then it's like the cards, and they're so like, I don't know what you're talking about, ma'am. I'm like, I'm only 30. Like, don't age me like this.
Look, I'm
But
like, please don't say your age. You make me feel so old. I can't.
it's a mess. That's so funny. I'm so glad both of y'all.
Look, listen. I couldn't even think of the name of it. I was like, it's a something, and I didn't want to misquote it. But literally, I mean, I'm telling y'all, if y'all open up the magazine, it's really a Rolodex. It's women again from all different walks of life doing some amazing things to support our people. So support them. So go out, get the magazine. I mean, even their business information is in there where to follow them and we will be coming back with more ladies throughout the year. But already go in there and start patronizing their businesses. And like I said, you guys on here, start following one another. Y'all, let's support one another and be genuine about it. If you're not genuine about it, then don't do it.
Yeah.
Be genuine about supporting the next woman. We have authors on our timeline, and I'm a plug that Shardell is an author too, even though she didn't say it.
Ah,
Let
Same
me
subject.
plug it in
I'll
there.
purchase the book. I'll purchase the book.
I have a hype woman that would be like, "Oh, you're this, you're also this, and you're this." I'm like, "Girl, you need to just come with me everywhere," because I'm not gonna say half of those things. But
I'm
thank
sorry,
you.
y'all. Give me 1 second. He is calling me. He been blowing me up for the past.
Oh, that's how
If mine wasn't
I
at
want to
work,
be.
it would be the same.
You know what? I want to be blown up too.
It's coming.
Somebody tell me. Y'all know I
It's
like.
coming.
Listen, I can wait. I can really wait. Not that I'm rushing it, and not that I don't want it to come, but I definitely I know I can wait. I honestly feel like I've been able to. I have been trailblazing, and I have been doing a lot of work.
Absolutely.
Because baby, when that man come here, y'all gonna see it trickle on down for a little while. Because I'm gonna enjoy what the Lord then gave me.
Come
You hear me?
on.
I'm gonna enjoy what the Lord
Come
gave
on.
me. But if yet we haven't nobody have anything else they want to share. I was trying to make sure I went back over the comments and everything. Um, Lani said you and Ty are so much alike when it comes to putting people on, and then yeah, look at her. And yes, Katisa, I don't know if you're on there. It is like full diversity in the magazine. Like you go through there, it's so many different things candles and all kind of stuff. It's some really dope women that's in the magazine, and some of them people ain't heard about them, but they like the best kept secret. And so I don't let people stuff be secrets. I just told them, Chardell, I put everybody business out there. Okay, I put everybody business out there. So you guys, I'm gonna put the link in there. You guys be sure to get the magazine. You have options if you want to do digital. If you want to get the hard copy, that would totally be up to you. But follow one another. Follow these ladies. Everyone, go out and support. Tie with her magazine this month. I mean, buy up a few of them, send them to your sister friend. If you already heard what she said early on about the magazine, about going through a breakup and having affirmations, and who don't need to be affirmed. And sometimes we try to create our own affirmations, but hey, you have a journal with affirmations already in there. So go out, support what
Oh,
she's doing.
I see Kaisha. Hey, Kaisha. Lord. she
Oh,
she
she
gonna be doing
did.
my next journal. That's my publisher. She gonna be
Uh,
doing my next one.
right. And you know what? It's so funny how God works, because me and Kaisha was on a different platform, and I'm doing I was doing, why I keep talking about the magazine. I was doing the journal, the website for Ty. And when she sent me, for some reason, she sent me her manuscript or her email or something. And I was like, that name looked familiar. And I'm like, wait, hold on. Um, who doing your journal? So she started talking to me. I'm like, well, I'm in another, we were in another space on Clubhouse. And so even with me moving forward with doing book coaching, I then reached out to Kaisha, like,
She's
hey, you're a
amazing.
publisher. Like, so with book coaching, I want to send people your way in the event that they're prepared and ready to write out there, write their stories, publish their books. But what am I saying in all this? Like, us being able to connect, like connecting one another, being able to patronize one another's business, and everybody win. Ain't nobody bumping the move out the way, but we are all winning because we all got our own journey, our own lane, our own way of doing things. So I'm excited that God gave me the idea I didn't have to create nothing new. He gave me what he was like, get the women together and talk to them. I was like, well, okay, God, we published that magazine like September 2022. This is 2023, but there's still more that we have to offer, and it's
More
still
grounds
yet
to
another
cover.
way of putting you, promoting you in your business. So I'm excited that we had this conversation tonight, y'all. We didn't clown, we didn't cut up. They didn't talk about their booze in front of my face.
I mean, we do it behind your back too.
In front of my face.
It's gonna come.
I mean, they over there talking about me, smiling and twirling their fingers and all this other stuff. And I'm just sitting here looking like, Lord,
It's
I want
coming.
to be in that number.
It's
The next
coming.
time
It's
all three
coming.
of us go on here, you're gonna be the one talking
And
about
he
it.
gonna be right. And he gonna be
Mhm.
right.
Oh, definitely, baby.
Mhm.
You can't come across the
You have to have a
threshold.
review conversation.
For real. For
You can't
real.
come across the threshold. So, ladies, I am so excited. I'm putting the link in there right now for the magazine. For those of you that want to purchase a magazine, Katie's like, but could you put the link in the?
Look, I done got 3 of them.
Yeah, she's like, could you put the link in there? I am putting the link in there right now. For those of you that want to purchase, and we're getting ready to log off. You guys have a beautiful, a beautiful night. Y'all going to enjoy y'all booze, or wait for y'all booze to come home.
Thank you for
All that
having
other
us.
Thank you.
well, I
It was
love
so
you,
nice to meet you,
ladies.
Love
Ty.
you too.
All right, bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.